Hello, tonight. It's again Raw and Real with Joke Hoetmer. The question is the truth a challenge to share with your loved ones? I am sitting here today. My eyes are burning. I have actually got a rash in my eyes of all the crying, because I have a feeling I've missed it. Have you ever had that feeling that you had an opportunity to speak to somebody when you know they were making the wrong decisions, or they were going down a slippery road, or your child doing things that you know isn't right, and that this could affect their whole life? Is there a time when you should have done something and you didn't? Tonight, I'm asking you to forgive me that you're not seeing my face. It's not a pretty face. But you see, the thing is, I have a friend, one of my very good friends, and a week ago I heard she was dying. She's in terrible, terrible pain. And as we are trying to help her, between all the drugs, I realized I knew so much. There was so much I had to say to her. I knew so much of what was causing her to go through all this. You see, sometimes you have this emotional intelligence, and you know that. You know something, and you don't respond. The thing is, there's something inside of you that stops you. What is it that stopped me to share in love what my friend needed to know? That could have stopped this whole situation. How many of us have gone through this? How many of us have avoided to talk or to speak up or to take action of some friend or some family member or a father or a mother or a colleague when you've realized that they are doing something that is detrimental to them and you don't take action? And then it's too late. Today I'm really raw and real, and I want to encourage you. The most important thing is to get out of your own way and to speak the truth. Because if you are a real friend, you would speak the truth. And the truth is action. The truth being action is actually that you step out of the situation and speak whatever you have in your heart. But you do it in love. You do it in encouragement. You don't do it with judgment. How many times have we been afraid to speak up? How many times have I been afraid to confront a situation, even though I know I have the answer? What is stopping us to help those that are in need? Is it our own fear of getting a reaction, of getting the wrong reaction? I mean, any action is better than no action. My action with my friend, who is now in South Africa and so delirious because of her drugs, and she's so in pain. I never said, as a friend, what she needed to hear. to help her not to make these mistakes, which has caused this action now. It's a sad situation that we could have saved a marriage. We could have saved somebody from making the wrong decision, be it business, be it taking the wrong turn in a relationship, be it a child being friends with the wrong people, a child watching the wrong movies or playing the wrong games, the aggressive games, or your neighbor's child or your friend's child that you're watching them, how they are responding to certain things, and you recognize that this child is in drugs or affected by peer pressure or being bullied, and you don't say anything. How many times do we turn away because of our own interaction, our own fear, our own, it shouldn't be my problem. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if you never get a chance? Can you imagine if you were that person? That somebody could advise you, you're taking the wrong step. I remember when I got divorced, my best friend said, I knew it wasn't the right person for you. And I said, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you see that he was a potential alcoholic? I never even knew what an alcoholic was at that stage. I mean, the intricacies and the recognizing the signs. What kind of friend doesn't warn her friend? She was frightened of me rejecting her. Tonight, I want to really share. Please, let's take encouragement to take action. I was thinking the other day, if you see a child running to water and the parent isn't aware, and this child is running after this duck and runs right into the water, what would you do? Your natural response is to react, to pull that child out. You don't even think about it. You don't think, oh, maybe the mother's watching and, she would do it. You don't. Well, the same response is to do that when you see something, maybe that you've got that intelligence at that moment or that inspiration to recognize it, or that knowing that you know that this child needs help, or this person is making the wrong decision, or making the wrong business decision, or whatever, or over-disciplining their child, or whatever it is. And if you know, how do you respond? I have had lots of situations like this in my life. And as much as what I'm a doer, sometimes I get myself into situations. And the power of a friend, of being loved even if you're unlovable, of being accepted even if you're not always right. Do you know that true friendship or true love is to speak the truth in love, no matter what. That is real value. That is real power. So what is stopping us to do this? What stopped me to speak to my friend? I knew she would understand. I knew that she would accept it, even if it didn't look like it in the beginning. You see, I undervalued myself. She was so successful. She was everything that I wanted to be myself. We were two single moms. We had a lot of laughs and fun. And I tried to share something with her. And she immediately responded. Her whole body language changed. And she stiffened up. And I just felt, I don't want to spoil this friendship. And now it's too late. The same goes for a business transaction. When you have the red flags for some or other reason, that you don't have to justify it. Speak the truth in love. How do we do this? How do we, when we recognize something, how do we get the courage to do it? Now, the interesting thing is, if you wait, the more you think about it, the less you'll do. The fact is that your brain talks you out of it. That's what my brain does. I overthought it and I never gave her what she needed. So on the lighter side there's ways that you could actually overcome those fears of being rejected and feeling you might have missed it, or the feeling of you might hurt her or him or the child or the parents if you maybe share something that they would respond differently. I remember once when I actually went to town and I had my skirt tied up into my stockings, and well, you could see too much. And a strange lady came and she just pulled down my skirt and she said to me, "Oops." And she walked on, smiling. You know how I appreciated that? Because it was an embarrassing moment. She was confident enough to just be herself. She didn't think about it. She was walking and she just pulled it down. I first turned around to wonder who's touching me. And then I realized it was the right thing to do. And I thanked her, just with the sign language. But the same way, don't overthink it. I just love Mel Robbins when she says the 5-second rule, where you don't think further. You just say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And with 1, you take action. Because before you even think further, you speak the truth or you take action. You don't fear. What is it that we have missed so much in society? I remember coming to London. My son said to me, "Mom, don't communicate with people. Don't make eye contact with teenagers, especially on a Friday night after 10 o'clock. And I just couldn't understand it because I love young people. And what happened, somebody fell down the stairs. It was Putney Station, and that person just tumbled right in front of us. And everybody just carried on walking. They stopped and looked and left the person. I was already up on top of the stairs. I came down and I knelt beside this person and I said, "Are you okay?" And I could see they weren't. As a nurse, I could recognize they weren't. And I stayed with that person until he came round a bit. And the next thing, he jumped up and ran into the train. I thought, wow, I don't even know if he's going to be okay. So I jumped in the train after him and sat next to him. Long story short, we phoned his mother and she picked him up at the station, and I made sure he got off at the right station and his mom could take him home. When I came back to my son's flat, he was so worried. He says, "Mom, don't get involved." That child must have been on drugs or whatever. He could have reacted. And nowadays with the laws in the UK, blah, blah, blah. And I just thought, I cannot be that way. He is somebody's child. somebody's son. And for about a year, being in the UK, I tried so much not to respond when my natural reaction is to do the right thing and to speak the truth in love. And I went to my son and I said, you know what? I'm so unhappy by not connecting to people and just showing them love and just being myself and encouraging people. And he says, Mom, I give up on you. Which was a good thing actually, because by him giving up on me, I could really develop that side of me, that I can be truth to people. But I didn't for my best friend. I take no excuses right now. But what I'm saying to you is, when you see somebody, the unlovable, or your friend needing help, and nobody wants to get involved, or you're seeing them make a wrong decision, two things is what you need to do. First of all, don't overthink it. Count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And move, secondly, in love. If you come from a place of non-judgmental and you respond to that person and get out of your own way, the ripple effect, the action, the reaction will be there. Don't ever walk around with regrets. Or be like me that cried for 3 days, thinking now she's in South Africa and I'm here in London and I can't do anything. And I might never see her again. This is a heavy message, but it doesn't have to be heavy. You see, if you have the wisdom or the insight to see something, and you see your friend's child experiencing something, the modern way is not to get involved, just to turn a blind eye. And I say, no. Why don't you be different? And take action. Make that difference. Help that person. If you say it in love, even if they might reject you for that moment, if you've got out of your own way and you've done what you could, then it's not your problem anymore. Don't be the kind of person that turns a blind eye. Be the person that makes a difference. Be the person that speaks the truth in love. How many of us have missed it? And if you have, like I have, forgive yourself. I have forgiven myself, and I am taking action right now with my friend. I'm arranging everything through the phone and getting the support structure and getting the truth to her, because it's never too late. I want to encourage you. If you have problems in your marriage, take the time to speak the truth in love. Wait for the right time. Don't overthink it. All the years of counseling, I've noticed that people overthink it. When you speak out of your heart in love, and you know it is truth, it'll land on a receptive heart. Be encouraged. Take action. Love the unlovable. unconditionally. Don't overthink it. Speak in love and get involved. So in my weakness right now, in my sadness, I'm finding constellation by, I don't know if that's the right word, but I'm finding peace by just knowing I've learned a big lesson. Never think they know better. Never think that they should know this and I shouldn't get involved. Never underestimate the power of truth spoken in love. You might save somebody's life. You might save somebody committing suicide. You might save somebody's marriage. You might save that child by opening their eyes to the parents. Be wise and move. Action, truth, in love is the answer. Please tag me a message of what is your feeling about this. See you next time. Bye.